photography has so many different languages. I'm never really very good at sticking to one. I'm always sort of teasing out the possibilities of how it might come against certain understandings and limits of the medium. My name's Izabela Pluta, and I've been commissioned by the Newcastle Art Gallery to make a work for their hoarding. I've been an artist for about 20 or so years. I came to photography during my undergraduate degree here at the University of Newcastle and kind of fell in love with it. I guess what inspires me is a constant sort of looking for something. It's a way of understanding the world, of where I am placed within it. I migrated here from Poland when I was a child, and a lot of my work, even though perhaps doesn't on surface level seem like it's autobiographical by any means, I think at the very guts of its sort of intention or inquiry is this looking for something of sort of an affinity or an association to place. And so that kind of pursuit is really sort of what it returns to all the time. So for the commission, I've made, in effect, a collage. It's almost like a diorama where it uses multiple images that come from photographing from within the building. I was really lucky to be able to be one of the last people, I think, to be able to enter the building with my camera and spend some time there when it was dark. And I actually insisted that we had the lights off during the filming. I really wanted to experience what that space was like, in effect, when it was sort of sleeping. This particular project has involved making still photographs in the gallery space, and I was sort of filming the light as it was sort of bleeding, filling the space. At the same time, I was making lumen photographs, and I was making these sort of works that were using photographic paper in a kind of unconventional way to record a kind of trace of the lighting condition on that very day, and that's kind of a unique moment. The lumen photograph is this really interesting way of working with photography, because this paper comes out of the box and in that moment it's fogged, so it's actually useless in terms of making anything accurate and legible photographically. When you put an object on the paper, it blocks light from exposing an area. But in this instance, there isn't an object, there is just light. So it's the shadows that are blocking the light. So therefore there's these long shards of shadow and light on the image. The photographic paper is able to self-expose, it almost self-develops. I was very aware in making the work that there was two passages of encountering the work, either walking past or driving. So I was really interested in creating this conscious sort of way of looking at something with close proximity and then at distance. The building and this sort of transition that it's undertaking is really interesting, and the way that it, as a space, has an energy that is almost a collective energy that people hold in, the city of Newcastle, but also people that, know the gallery well. Often when places are renovated, refurbished, something happens inside that space and we aren't privy to that. So I wanted almost space from the inside to be alive to us on the outside, to kind of remind us that there's this kind of beautiful potential in there, that there's a sort of, a nod obviously to the architecture, but there's also this kind of anticipation of what's about to happen when it reopens.